I am God of Destruction in Tekken. I hit Grandmaster in Overwatch and Eternity in Marvel Rivals. I'm what you would call a competitive gamer. But in For Honor, I am nothing but a hostage. This is Alex Stryker. He is a retired master who used to scrim this decade-old medieval fighting game. To everyone else, he is the nicest guys you'll meet. But the moment we load into a For Honor lobby, a alternate persona takes over, and he becomes a certified seal clubbing aficionado. He dragged me into lobbies with more than 2,000-hour veterans. I spent hours sparring with him and grinding tech just to survive. But I still couldn't beat him. If I was locked in a room and forced to beat Alex to earn my food, I would simply starve to death. So why did I play 300 hours of a game that makes me question if I'm a masochist? Let me show you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
At the beginning, I thought this game was a fun, casual party game like Chivalry. I was horribly and completely wrong. Instead, For Honor is a mutant conglomeration of genres. It's got the 50-50s, wall combos and parries of Tekken, but shoved into a MOBA-like shell with minions, control points, and leveling up. All of this while wrapped in a medieval slasher where a chain-smoking Winston Churchill and an Xbox can externally target swap a heavy attack directly into my skull. The community is a mess, the mechanics are a mess, but I stuck around for one single reason: the anti-ganks.
Sometimes a Viking is born who carries the spark of gods.
I really tried to play this game properly. I really did. I put in a long shift on Highlander, sweated out on Raider, Warmonger, and Shaolin. But eventually, I settled on Conqueror. Now I know what you're thinking. Why are you picking a bottom tier character? Is it because you hate yourself? Yes, but hear me out. Now, I don't play this game to win cleanly. I play it for the pure, unadulterated dopamine that's injected directly into my brain when I survive a 1v3 or a 1v4. Coming from hero shooters and fighting games, Conqueror's anti-gank tools just clicked. You have the All Guard, the Dodge Bash, and you can target swap most attacks into a Dodge Bash unblockable external, and then fake that immediately back to an All Guard. In theory, Conk had everything I needed to survive, but in practice, I was still getting my teeth kicked in.
Daddy, I need to save them. No. Maybe this time you'll learn.
This was a case of trying to run before I even knew how to walk. There's a massive difference between practicing mechanics in a 1v3 or 1v4 when you can't even 1v1. But the problem is, playing against Alex Stryker wasn't just a test of my reflexes. It was a horror game. He got entirely up in my noggin. I would spend whole matches overthinking every single move, expecting him to pull out some high-level frame-perfect sweaty scrim strat, only for him to wake up the next day, throw all logic out the window, and just throw raw heavy attacks in one single direction. He would completely throw off my timing, or just straight up cheese me to death because my brain was playing 4D chess while he was eating crayons. And boy, if there was a ledge on the map, forget about it. Alex loved map hazards. It doesn't matter how well I played around or how many parries I hit. If I were anywhere near a cliffside or a spike, he would find a way to Uber Eats my bottom tier corpse directly into the abyss. I was trapped into this loop for months. Overthinking, getting cheesed, getting ledged. It felt completely hopeless until one specific match.
Fucking spikes there?
You've got to be joking me.
There used to be spikes on literally every map in this game. It was comical and everyone made fun of them. And they took them like 7 years to remove them.
What?
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
I was solo queuing on Forge one day, just trying to get some practice in without getting bullied. My team wiped, and suddenly I'm staring down a 1v3. Usually, this is where I panic, but for whatever reason, muscle memory just took over. I didn't overthink it, the parries hit, target swapping actually worked, and I clutched it. This was the biggest dopamine hit I've ever had in this game. But honestly, my very first thought right after that was, damn, I just wish Alex was in the Discord call to see that. So later, I finally queued up for a game of Breach of all things with Alex, but I decided to put the Conqueror flail away for a minute and locked in Black Prior instead. And that's when the stars finally aligned. I ended up in a full 1v4 scenario, except this time, I was actively using the kit to flip their entire team over my shield like pancakes. It was absolute chaos, and for once, Alex had to sit in the spectator screen and just watch me carry. But the true peak of my 300 hours happened when I finally queued with Alex. I weaponized my own trauma. I took Alex's degenerate obsession with map hazards and used it to deliver the enemy team right off a cliff. Twice. I was utilizing his own cheese against enemies of my own. It was an absolute gauntlet. I survived a grueling 1v3 and immediately rolled into another 1v2. For one fleeting and glorious moment, the hostage had become the master. I was the master of my own destiny. I was the conqueror.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
I was riding the highest high I have ever felt in years. I finally figured the game out. I had earned people's respect, and then mere days later, Ubisoft released Journey. Now, on release, Journey wasn't just strong. Journey was a mistake. I won't turn this into a massive patch note rant, but basically, you could option select anything that a Conqueror did. And just like that, every single thing that I spent months learning on Conqueror was invalidated by one single character release. It wasn't a challenge anymore, it was just miserable. The fun was completely sucked out of the game. The anti-gank dopamine was gone, replaced by the grim reality of 2026 For Honor. So I did the only thing a healthy thing a gamer can do. I stopped playing. I went back to my hero shooters. I went back to Marvel Rivals, where I actually knew what I was doing. But the most depressing part of this entire 300-hour journey was I could never beat Alex in a 1v1. Sometimes, I still hear Fumjo Ba when I close my eyes.
What? I couldn't even see that in the... Oh.